Have you ever been so impacted by something that it leaves no doubt as to what helped shape you? Welcome to the Blind Impact podcast, where we talk about and uncover those moments. Some funny, some sad, and some scary, but it's not always tragic. I hope you'll stay for a while.
Hey, Aiden, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay. How are you how are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am doing awesome. Okay, so guys, this is the Blind Impact. This is Aiden. And Aiden, is there anything that you would like to tell us? Maybe something that you've accomplished? Anything you want us to know about you?
Yeah, I guess I'll start off with the introduction. I'm Aiden. I'm 22 years old, and I'm still pretty young, but I feel I've accomplished a lot at my age.
Okay.
And part of that would be to the people that I was growing up with. But as far as right now, I got a good job. I got my own place, and I'm headed in the right direction. So I assume.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to say it being you said 22, right?
Yeah, 22. I'll be 23 in a couple days.
Uh-oh, birthday
Yeah,
celebration.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, what are you gonna be doing? If you want to say.
Oh, I'm not too sure yet. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything. Hopefully, there's a little surprise party going on or something.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Like somebody they say y'all gonna be outside, huh?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be outside.
Wow, 22. That is so incredibly young. I don't even know. Oh, I know what I was doing at 22. Honestly, I really
Yeah,
I do remember. But yeah, that's you're young and you've got a really amazing career going. But 23, I wonder what that's gonna look like for you.
I know it's crazy to think about. Just a couple years ago, I was still in high school and doing everything, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like it just went by so fast, and then you know how people always say, "Oh, back in my day, this and that." It just it feels like I'm getting there.
Oh, whatever. Back in your day was literally yesterday, so you can't even say
Yeah,
that yet.
literally.
You can't
Yeah.
even say that yet.
But
Well,
just, I guess me, like I'm always with older people, and I have friends that are a lot older than me,
oh,
and
okay.
I guess it just rubs off on me
Well, I mean that's
because
good.
yeah, and I've gotten people tell me like I'm pretty mature for my age and this and that.
Hmm.
So, like I said, I feel like being around them and being around the right people really rubbed off good on me.
Yeah, I mean it obviously did.
Yeah,
Obviously, because 22, that's
yeah,
such a and being a male, not to like stereotype or anything, but being
yeah.
a being a male in 22, like you're not too far removed from being 21, and
I know.
it's like y'all's level of maturity is it's not quite there yet, but you are somebody who's very mature, so I can definitely
Yeah.
appreciate that about you. So happy early birthday, and
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome, and I do hope that you get a good birthday surprise party, but
Hopefully,
but
hopefully they
safely.
hear this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
get the hint.
You're like hit guys,
Yeah.
hit. Okay, so Aiden, so what's your story tonight?
Uh, Basically just my upbringing as I was a child, my childhood. I feel
Okay.
like I went through a lot of things. We moved around a lot. I
Okay.
wasn't really like a steady home, and it was just a lot of things going on. Because
Okay.
when I was younger, we used to live with my aunt, and we used to stay in an area that wasn't really too good, and they there was issues with like boyfriends and stuff like that, fights
Mm.
all the time, and I feel like that really helped me like mature. And obviously seeing that is like that's not something I want in my future or something I want to keep seeing. So that really helped me change and really choose what I really wanted to do and what I want in my life.
Right. So was
Yeah.
how many siblings did you do you have?
I'm the oldest of
Okay.
four, so I have three sisters. I'm the only boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
and with that, I also felt like, since I'm the oldest, I felt like all the pressure on me. Like they look up to me. I'm their older brother, so
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
do right by them, and I gotta set the example.
Of course. And that's
Yeah,
something that I bet you learned without even being told that, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But my mom, she has a big part of it too. She was the main one in my life. My dad was in my life as well, but they were divorced my whole life, so
Okay.
I mean, I was like 80% of the time I was with my mom, and then the weekends I was with my dad. But like I said, my mom, I mean, she was really there. I seen her struggle and all that, so that's what really
Hmm.
helped me like realize how life really is and catch up fast, you know?
Yeah, you have to. Do you?
Yeah.
So your relationship with your mom is still good, like to this
Yeah,
day?
yeah. I hate to say it, but I'm a mama's boy.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
that is
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I do
Wow.
whatever I got to do to
Uh huh.
make her
Yeah.
happy and
Yep.
make sure I do what she wants me to do.
Yeah, that's important, and it sounds like outside of you saying that your mom was a huge impact for you, it seems like just you knowing that you need to be there for her is obviously what was kind of instilled in you early on, and you're
Yeah,
able to to continue that on, which is really awesome. And I think that's going to help you to become. And if I'm wrong, you can correct me, but that seems like being in that situation early in childhood definitely makes for a better man, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I don't want to discredit my dad either. I mean, he was in my life
No.
as well. It's just that, like I said, 80% of the time I was with my mom, and I was just the weekends I would spend with my dad and stuff. But I mean, he was still there for me. He taught me everything I know as well, and I mean, he instilled a lot of good information in me as well. And even till today, like he'll still give me advice and tell me what to do and what not to do and stuff like that.
Oh, so that's good for your dad.
Yeah, they were
Wow.
just like I said, since I was a child, I don't have memories of them being together, but they've been divorced my whole life. But I mean, I got used to it. Like I said, they had a good schedule going on, so I would see both of them, and I mean, I would spend time with my dad's side of the family, with mom's side. So I mean, it wasn't like they were taking time from each other. So I mean, it worked out
Right.
perfectly. Yeah.
Wow.
But,
So okay. So this was like this was a positive thing for you, you know.
I mean, I don't know, because I mean, I've heard stories of people that, I mean, they tell me about their parents being together, and I mean, I just in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, that seems like it would be nice having a household with both parents, this and that, and but I mean, I wouldn't change it because I mean, it made me the way I am today. So, but like I said, I
Yeah.
have that thought in the back of my head just lingering when I hear stories like that. I'm like, damn, what if that would have been me, or what if that would have happened to in my household?
So you saying that like so ideally you picturing your parents together, right? And then y'all it's
Hmm.
all your sisters. Y'all are in one house. Do you think that like what's your like illustration of what that would seem like outside of being nice to have, but like what do you see in that?
Well, right now, like I'm like the only one with a different dad. They all have the same dad. I'm the different
Okay.
one. So I mean, if they were together, we'd all be from the same dad. And I don't know. I just feel like he'd still be the same. I'm the only child with him, so obviously I'd get less attention because he'd have all the other three daughters. But like I said, I'm the only child, so he would give me a lot of attention. And with my sisters being from him, I feel like learn a lot from him because he's a little old, so he's really wise.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, he has a lot of information to give. I mean, obviously he had his problems and everything, but with time
Sure.
he was able to resolve that and get better as a man as well. Because I mean, they were both really young when they had me, so they were growing up as I was growing up. So that's why I got to see a
Mm,
lot of those issues going on in the house and everything. So, like I said,
yeah.
my mom, she was probably 16 when she had me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
my dad, I think he was 2 years older or something like that. But they were both really young, and I mean, we all grew up together.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is because
Yeah,
babies raising babies.
yeah, literally.
But I kind of wonder though, like even with that being your dynamic, it seems like that will help you guys to have a lot deeper relationship because you got to know each other, as you were coming up, and it just seems like it would have been a little bit easier to have a deeper relationship in that regard. And then same,
Yeah,
yeah, you're like,
because
yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, I'll just say because I mean it makes sense because today, like my relationship with my mom is perfect. Like I mean, I trust her. I could go with her with anything, right or wrong. I know she's gonna be there for me and
Oh,
tell me the best. But I
yeah.
wish probably I guess my relationship with my dad would have was a little better. Like I said, it was really good when I was young and I would see him on the weekends. But like as I got older, I started working. I started going over there less, and I mean, we just started talking less. I mean, we would still call over the phone and stuff, but I mean, a phone call is different from being in person and
Sure.
sharing emotions and making memories. But
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I feel like when I have something going on, I'll reach out to my mom first before I reach out to him, or if I
Mhm.
tell him, I'll just reach out with a problem and I already have a solution, just keeping him like still in the loop of my life and everything going on.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
you're just giving him the courtesy of letting him know what's going on, but you're not looking for advice from him, it sounds like.
I mean, he gives me advice anyways, even without asking. But
Yeah, of
yes,
course.
sometimes that's how it seems. Like, because I like to think myself a very independent person,
Sure.
and like I try to solve my problems before like it gets any bigger or before letting
Mhm.
other people know. But that's also an issue because if I can't solve it and then I'll just keep waiting, it just blows up in my face, and then that's when I end up asking for help, and sometimes it might be too
Mm.
late, you know.
Do you think that's a pride thing?
Probably, yeah, because I feel like my dad's the same way.
Okay.
Like I hate asking for help. Like I hate bothering other people. So for something that I could do myself, so
Okay.
that's why I try to do whatever I can to solve it first, or before I ask for help or something like that. But I feel like that's something
Wow.
for I definitely got from him for sure.
It's pride. Pride.
Yeah,
I bet
yeah,
you if you take like if you go into next week and you whatever problems arise for you and you just say, "Hey, look, if you can learn to remove like if it's great pride, if it's small pride, whatever it is, if you can just take one situation and figure out how to remove the element of pride. I'm just curious to see what the outcome would be for you. You know?
yeah. I know. I mean, there was an incident not so long ago where I mean I had to reach out and ask for their help, and I mean obviously they were there to help me, but
Mhm.
I mean, we had a talk and he told me, he's like, don't wait this long to let me know, like, let me
Mm,
know sooner. And I mean, we could get ahead of it before it gets too late.
yeah.
And I mean, I told him, I mean, it's just me trying to be in like my own person, trying to solve my own problems and stuff. But like I said, I'm still learning. I still got ways to go. So sometimes it
Sure.
isn't too bad to ask for help.
Yeah, there's never a wrong time to ask for help. And just
Yeah,
know that people nobody's going to look at you for like, okay, well this guy, he's young, like what does he know? Like people expect you to make mistakes, but people also expect you to ask for help. So,
yeah.
don't feel like you can't, and that doesn't mean like you're not doing well in life because you're asking for help. Just take that from somebody who's 75, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, really, really. So
No, I
I'm
know.
curious. Yeah, I mean, and you'll be better for it because I'm somebody who also like I growing up, pride was a big thing for me
Yeah.
too, and I had no reason to be proud. Like there was
Hmm.
no reason for me. Like I didn't have like a bunch of weird obstacles. Well, not weird, but I didn't have like a lot of obstacles in life. But I think it was just, I think, like you said, you got it from your dad. So sometimes it's just like it's inherent, and
Yeah.
you don't know any other way to be. But the older I got, the more I realized that, hey, look, it's all right to ask for help. You don't know everything, and like I just told you, people don't expect you to know everything. So if you
Yeah.
if you have to ask, it's better for your growth,
Yeah.
basically.
But like I said,
Basically.
my relationship with my mom is really strong, so I'll go to her first, and I mean she'll give me advice, and I mean she's really good with giving me advice, and I mean it really helps out a lot having her there.
See, I can
Even
appreciate
even
that.
though after everything she's been through,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
a big
Wow.
part of my life.
See, that's so sweet, if you don't mind me saying
Yeah,
so.
no, it's fine. I feel like around when I got to like the middle school age,
Uh-huh.
that's when like everything started getting steady and everything was going on a good track. I mean, we had a home, we were there
Hmm.
for a while, everything was good, but I mean, there's always hardships in the road, so I mean,
Sure.
just take them as they come.
Yeah. Because there will continue to be hardships no matter
Yep.
what. And
Mhm.
you got to be able to just to rebound. So do you feel like with having your parents gone through the divorce and you experiencing kind of like helping to raise your siblings, do you feel like there's a little bit of resentment towards them, like towards your dad from them?
Um, no, I don't think so. Even though he would still come around. He'd come visit me, and my sisters were obviously there. And I mean, he'd treat them just like
Okay,
as they were
good.
his,
Good.
even though like I said, they had their own father. Like they
Yeah.
still seen him as a father figure. I
Okay.
mean, like I said, whenever he'd visit, he'd give them advice as well, talk to them, play with them. I mean, he wouldn't just be focusing on me. Like
Okay,
he
good.
knew I had siblings, so he would bring them in. If I went somewhere, he'd be like, "Oh, ask your siblings if they want to come, this and that." So, I mean, it
Oh,
was never just like a solo thing. He was always open to being bringing my siblings.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, sounds like your dad's not too bad of a fella.
yeah. Like I said, I mean, we all had problems. So he had problems when I was younger, but I mean, he grew out of it
Yeah.
and just became a better person.
Wow.
But like I said, I mean, they were young, so I mean, I really can't judge them from what
Mm-hmm.
their problems that they had and everything, because they were growing as well. I mean, they were learning as they went. They've never been through this before, so.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I didn't really understand. I probably had them thoughts like, oh, why'd they do this, or like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
don't like them for doing this. But as I get older as well, I understand. I mean, life's tough sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So do you feel like having been a child of divorce, do you feel like once you decide to marry, if you do you feel like you just really hold to those vows, like you're just not going to
Yeah,
divorce?
yeah, because I mean, even though they try to do it as smooth as possible, I mean, there was always obstacles. Or there was things that I wish I could have had both my parents there for. And I just want, when I have kids, I do want to have both parents in home and just be like a traditional home with a stay-at-home mom. I'll be
Mhm.
working and I'll come home, kids, wife is there. But yeah, I think having two parents in home is very important to a kid's life.
Mhm.
And I
Yep.
mean, it'll definitely do make a difference in the future. But even to the ones that don't, I mean, it's not anything you can get around it. It's not like how do I say it? It's not
Not the end of the world.
something. Yeah, not the end of the world.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. There's a lot of single parent homes out there, and they produce some of the most productive, successful citizens.
yeah,
And clearly you're one of them. So that's really good, really good.
yeah,
Really good on your mom and your dad. But you made it around it, and you didn't let it keep you down, which is very important. And now
yeah,
you get to be your own example and what you want in your own household.
yeah.
Once once you do get married. So
And
that's good.
then
Hmm.
yeah, and then I always hear like examples of people having bad step parents and stuff like that. So when my
Ooh,
mom
yeah.
remarried, like my relationship with my stepdad, I mean, it's good too. Like he treats me as his own kid whenever we go somewhere, or like he'll introduce me as his own kid, or if I introduce him to some of my friends, I'll say, "Oh, this is my dad." Like
Oh.
I don't ever like be, "Oh, this isn't my real dad," or "This is my stepdad," or whatever. I see him as my real dad as well. So I always say I got two dads. And I mean, my dad remarried too, so I say I have two moms, but my mom gets mad when I
Oh.
say that.
I bet she does. She's like,
Yeah,
"You're my son."
yeah. She don't like me
Wow.
saying that.
I probably wouldn't either. So
Yeah.
you this stepdad's been in well your second dad's been in your life for how long now?
I want to say since I was probably like 8.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, he's been here for a while. And I mean,
Wow.
my relationship with him has just, I mean, it's gotten stronger. He was there anytime I needed him for any problem, and he never like try to overstep or like say like take the father role because he knew I still had my father. He's just started off as a friend, and then I mean, the bond just got bigger and bigger.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I mean, he's an amazing dad to my sister, so I mean, that's a plus. That's good for
Wow.
them. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah.
Wow. That is that is absolutely beautiful. So is there some about your experience that you've well, you experience that you have experienced, is there anything about it that you would like to change or you wish could have changed?
Um, Not really. Like I said, when I hear stuff, I have a thought, and I
Yeah.
just imagine myself being in those shoes. But as far as changing, I don't think so because everything's that happened, everything I've experienced, everything I've seen, it all I got things from everything and just made it all into one and make me who I am today. So I
Wow.
wouldn't really change anything. I just, like I said, I imagine myself in those shoes whenever they tell me. But I mean, it wasn't bad. I got through it. It ain't no biggie.
Yep. It's certainly
Yeah,
not. It is certainly not. And I hope that whenever you decide to get married, Aiden, that you do invite me to the wedding.
yeah. No, I
I
will.
can I can definitely be flower girl if you like. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
it'll for sure be a couple years from now. But
She likes it
yeah,
for a couple years. Gosh. Not
that's
even thinking
that's
about marriage, huh?
yeah. That's also like another reason. Like they got married and pregnant so young that I just don't want that. I want to be able to experience more stuff, experience life, the world, and travel before I get ready to settle down and have kids and everything.
Yeah, that's probably important. That would definitely have been my takeaway. Like I would like to, I would have liked to been,
Yeah,
I because yeah, settling down with kids and everything so early on, it does you don't get to live. Kids are
yeah,
great. They're awesome.
yeah. Because I
But you,
mean, the whole time when I was younger and everything, I never really got to travel. I've been in Texas my whole life.
okay,
I've been to Colorado once, but it was already when I was older, so I went on my own to go hike and snowboard and everything. But
nice,
yeah,
nice,
but as far as that, like I've never really left Texas, so that's why I really want to travel and see the world. Because I mean, they didn't have money to take me anywhere, so
right,
we weren't poor, but they were pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. And I
yeah,
mean, having my dad there, he would take care of me, my school stuff, everything when I was younger, and my mom just made like she was there my everyday day to day life.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I mean she was focused on my sister, so having my dad there taking care of me, like my school supplies, school clothes, and all that, I mean it really helped her out as well.
So did your dad spoil you with your school clothes? Were you like, Dad, I have to have
Yeah,
these J's?
yeah,
Yeah. See, mm.
yeah. That's one thing I did enjoy. Like I said, I was the only child on his side, so
Yeah.
I mean he would just, I mean he didn't have anybody else to give his love to,
Yep. He gave it all to
so
you.
yeah. And I feel
Dang.
like my sisters, I guess that's something they would have wanted because I mean they all had to share with it's three sisters and they all had to share
Hmm.
their dad and stuff. And I mean, you know how girls are, they
Oh, I
get
do.
jealous.
I
Yeah.
do. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so funny. That is so funny. You're So what are your top two places that you like to travel through in the United States and outside?
Um, I for sure want to go to Spain, to
Okay.
Madrid in Spain. That's really nice.
Oh
And
yeah.
then probably Brazil or something. Learn a new
Okay.
language or let me
Wow.
think somewhere else.
Think about food.
Uh,
Like what
food.
yeah, like where would you want to go to discover that cuisine?
Probably. That's a good question.
It is, right? It is.
Yeah, because
So you
there's a
can think
lot of
about that
different
one.
cultures and a lot of different foods where they. Yeah, I'll think about that. Give me a minute to think about that.
You think about that. So what is your favorite food? Like what do you enjoy eating?
I mean, Hispanic food. I mean, that's my culture. That's what
Mhm.
I grew up eating. My grandma's cooking. That's really what hits the spot. Brings back memories.
Ooh,
Yeah,
grandma. Okay.
yeah. She made Thanksgiving dinner, so that was
Ooh,
really good.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
something about the grandma's cooking. I don't know what it is, but
yeah. It
can't be
just
compared.
it's that love they put in it.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, the little extra love.
A little bit of extra love. Man, yeah, I love it. I love food myself personally,
Yeah.
I really do enjoy it. Okay. Okay, so you're thinking Brazil and you're thinking
Yeah, probably
Spain.
Brazil and
Okay.
Spain, yeah. Just because of the culture and everything going on over there. And also the sports. I like soccer, so Spain has a lot of good um soccer
Soccer
teams and
teams?
stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh.
I like to go experience a soccer game in Spain or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I heard those were pretty epic, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, but you have to be careful because they have a lot of, cases of being trampled. But
Yeah, I know. It's crazy over there. They get real serious about it.
yeah, wow, it would probably be so loud in there.
Yeah, it really would. But that's one of my goals to experience a soccer game in Spain.
Okay, so make sure you make that happen. You have
Yeah,
time. Yep, and you
yeah.
gotta
I got
take
plenty
care
of
of.
time.
You do. You do. So make it happen. Make it happen for yourself. Okay, Aiden, is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to share with us before we head out?
Um, I just feel like my upbringing and everything is really a big part of my life, and I don't ever discard myself from something. I do overthink a lot, and that's what kind of sometimes brings me back on things, and I try to back out of things, but I just gotta take some time, take deep breaths, and just stop
Mm-hmm.
overthinking and just do it. And I mean that really helps me because, like I said, I overthink a lot, and I try to do everything myself. And when you do that, I mean, you just got a million things going on in your head, and that just isn't good.
It's not
Cause
good.
you,
And then
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Now
But
go
yeah,
ahead.
it's like with you saying that, and to further that point, it's like you find yourself missing out on a lot of opportunities because you are overthinking it and you're second guessing things, and it's just like just get out there, right?
Yeah,
Just live. Don't worry about trying to plan it all out because life,
yeah.
life you can't plan life. You can try,
Yeah,
but you
and that's
can't.
that's like my biggest issue because I don't really like being blindsided by things, so I like to try to stay ahead of the curve. And doing that, I mean, you like I said, you start thinking about this or what if this happens or what if it goes
Mhm.
this way, and I mean, you just keep on thinking of stuff that might happen, and at the end, I mean, really none of that stuff is probably gonna happen.
Right. It can't. It
Yeah,
usually doesn't. But
yeah,
you like to be in control, and that's fine.
I
I
do.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate. I definitely can
I like
relate
to
to
be in
that.
control of my future and what goes on around me.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the people around me, I have a little bit of friends, but I mean, it's the right friends that I feel
Mm.
is gonna go on. It's a friendship for a lifetime.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's rare.
Yeah, it really is.
Yep. Very rare. Very very rare. Well, Aiden,
Yeah.
if you don't have anything else that you'd like to share with us,
I have a question for you though.
oh,
It's
okay,
it's it's a it's a little off topic, but I mean
okay,
it's a question.
okay.
If you could give your younger self a piece of advice or information that you wish you knew, what would that be?
That's a good question. I see you
Yeah,
trying to
I
turn the
always
tables. Okay.
yeah, I always try to ask like during interviews or whenever I'm talking to somebody that I haven't met, like a stranger or something that we really have like a deep conversation with. I like to
Okay.
ask them that because I mean, like I said, people make problems. I mean, people have issues or stuff going on and stuff that they experienced in the past that they're like, oh, if I would have known this or if this would have happened, like if somebody would have told me this, like it would have changed everything. So I get a lot of different answers.
Okay. I think if I had to go and talk to baby Francis, I
Yeah.
would say I would tell her to be a little less inhibited, right?
Mhm.
Um, be a little less have a little less need for control, and don't be afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, every time they answer, I always take that advice and I apply it to myself because I mean, like what you
Ooh.
said applies to me too. Like I said, I like to be in control of a lot of things, and that really is an issue for me. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
try my best not to, but sometimes it obviously ends up happening.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah,
usually does. And I can appreciate this question. I'm gonna have to start asking somebody that, you know?
yeah, yeah. Like I
'Cause-
said, during interviews or whenever I'm talking to somebody new or like during a
wow.
deep conversation, that's when I usually bring it up. And I mean, they usually take a minute to think about it because I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good question to ask, and you get a lot from it as well.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's a very deep question. And
And then a lot of
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay, well, I'm still thinking. I'm like, was my response good enough, right? And so, like, as far as like the being like less inhibited, I like growing up, I was really shy. I know it doesn't seem like it, but
Yeah.
I was very shy, and I still feel like there's moments where like I can be around a group of people or just a group of people specifically,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my goodness. Now I have no problem with talking, but I do get a sense of like I'm like becoming an introvert,
Yeah. I
and
feel
it's
like
not all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the same way because I really keep to myself, and
Yes.
I have a little bit of people around me that I trust, and
Mhm.
like I said, I'm a very independent person, and I try to keep to myself. So I would say I'm like that as well, but I'm really trying to step out of my comfort zone,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
I feel like I don't talk about like this stuff too often, and it's just because of that, because I keep to myself, and I don't want other people knowing too much. But
I
I mean, at
understand.
times that could be bad, but I'm trying to open up a little more so people get to know me more at a deeper
Yes.
level.
See, and look at that. I mean, that's already that's some growth right there, and I appreciate you for being honest about that.
Yeah.
Because I know it wasn't easy for you to come on here. We we talked about it, but
Yeah. But that was just the overthinking again. I'm telling you, it just
yeah,
happens. I start overthinking, be like, oh, what if this isn't good enough, or what if I'm boring or something, and it just
nope, nope.
I have a million thoughts going on in my head.
Nope, not at all. And I mean, I don't think your story could have been any more perfect because you are giving somebody else who's going through the same thing, right? And
Yeah,
just not sure about how to go about reaching the goals that you've already attained. You're like being the older brother, having siblings,
yeah,
right? Having a coming from a divorced home. It's like people that's a lot to take on,
yeah.
and yeah, and you've taken it on and you've done well. I can see that. So
Thank you. I mean,
yeah,
I
you're
just try
welcome.
my best. I try to not let people down because a lot of people
Mm,
trust in me. They depend on me to do good, and like my parents and stuff, like they, like I said, they grew up. I mean, they had me young, so they didn't really have a childhood. So sometimes they
mm-hmm.
would live through me. So I just really want to make them proud and make sure I don't fall behind. And
Oh,
but I mean, I know if I do, they'll obviously be there for me like they always have been. But
of
I just
course.
try. I try to, like I said, I'm try to be my own person and try not to rely on them too much. But
Mm-hmm.
there's always times where you need your parents, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I still do. Okay, over here,
Yeah,
still do.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
So,
mean, I'm young, so I'm still experiencing a lot of things. And
mm-hmm.
sometimes I forget that, like, that I'm that young, and I'm like, because I'm around older people, so it just I'm like, oh, I still got my whole life to experience that. Or they tell
Yeah.
me their problems or their what they're going through, and I'm like, oh, how come I haven't done that? I'm like, oh, it's just, I mean, I still got my whole life to go through that to get to that point and stuff. So
Yeah. You're a baby. Don't rush it.
yeah, yeah, that's what everybody tells me.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got plenty of time to go through all those bad times. So,
But I feel like everything I experienced, everything I went through, it just made me grow up faster, mature a lot quicker.
mhm.
And I mean, got me to the point where I am today, which I mean, I'm proud where I'm at today. Uh, I got my own things, living on my own, so I don't think I'm doing too bad yet.
No, sir. Yeah, that's a lot to be proud of. And I'm proud of you too, Aiden. I really
Thank you.
am.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure. You're
It means a
welcome.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I really am. And I've told you before, like I do see you doing great things.
Hmm.
You're just at the very starting point, of your life and your career. And I just know that if you keep being who you are, there's no doubt that you're gonna be an ultimate success.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
truly.
I have a lot of good mentors around me, a lot of people that I get advice from, and I mean that really helps me out. And like I said, they're
Yes.
all older, so I mean they've been through it, and I really try to listen instead of like speaking too much because they always say
Mm.
you got 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. So I try to
It's true.
listen as much as possible and soak up as much information so I won't do the same problems. I mean,
Hmm.
go the same way and get those problems, then listening to their advice and getting around that, you know?
Yeah, that's yeah. You don't want to make the same mistakes. So, do you have like one really good piece of advice that somebody's told you over the course of your life that you still apply?
Um, there's a lot, but let me try to think of the main one that sticks with me.
Okay. Hey,
Um, I
never
mean,
do.
what my mom always told me, and I always think about it before I do something or before I make a decision on something. I always just hear her voice saying it. She always says, just think about what you do because everything you do has its consequences, good or bad. So I
Mm,
always, she's always told me that. Like with everything, she's always told me that. So that's really the main thing that stuck with me. So
okay.
before I do anything or before I make a big decision on something, I'm like, what's the good and what's the bad about it?
Yeah, your mom was not wrong in saying that
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all. Wow. My goodness. Well, Aiden, so thank you for sharing your story. I'm glad you came out of your comfort zone a little bit to
yeah.
hear it. So I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I want
Oh,
to
you're
thank you
welcome.
for being able to getting me on here and getting me out of my comfort zone in the first
Oh,
place. So it really helped. And like I said, I'm
oh,
I'm to myself, so I don't
I know.
really express myself a lot and my feelings and stuff like that. That's why sometimes I feel like it's hard for me to do it because I don't do it as often. But
Okay.
I'm trying. I'm getting there.
You are getting there, and you did
Yeah.
you did perfectly on here. So I appreciate it. Now,
Thank
my
you.
other question. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Would you like to come back on?
I mean, I would. Yeah. I mean, now I did it up the first time. I'm pretty sure I could do it a second time.
I'm pretty sure you could. And if you know
Yeah.
what, and if you want, I don't know how old your sisters are, but if you think they'd be interested in coming on and talking with you on here, that's an option too. So it's totally up to you. No pressure at all.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
just think about it.
Yeah, I'll talk to them. I'm the oldest one. She just graduated high school, so and if I was to do it, I'd probably ask her because I mean, as when we were young, it was really just me, her, and my mom. Like I said,
Mm,
we moved a lot, so it was really just us three going from apartment to apartment, city to
yeah.
city, school to school. So I mean,
Yeah.
she went through a lot of the same things I went through. And I feel like she went through more because, like I said, I still had like that free space with my dad when I would go on the weekends, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she would be there with my mom, and I mean, they went
Uh-oh.
through everything they went through.
Wow. See,
Yeah,
yeah. So just maybe she'll come on
yeah,
and y'all
her
can.
view might be a little bit different, or she might have
Yeah,
some different things to say. It's different from everybody's point of view.
it is, and I'm I'm
What I
I'm curious.
Yeah, what I think might be an impact might have just been something little for her, or something big for her might have been something I just brushed under the rug or something.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely right. So I guess we'll see, huh?
yeah. I'll ask.
Okay, Aiden. Alrighty. Hey guys, this has been the Blind Impact. Our guest tonight was Aiden. And if you are interested in telling or sharing your story, please leave me a voice message. And also you can leave an email at theblindimpact.com. Thank you guys so much. Aiden, thank you again for coming
No
on. I
problem.
really
Thank you.
appreciate you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You have a good night.
You too.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of The Blind Impact. If you like the show, please rate, subscribe, review, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. If you have a story you'd like to tell, please email me at theblindimpact@gmail.com. Or if you have a story you'd like to have read here by me, please include those details in the email or the voice message. Thank y'all, and remember, it's not always tragic.